In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a website that helps to grow your business by bringing in more leads, more customers, and more sales. An effective website is absolutely, positively a must-have marketing asset for you and for your business, regardless of what business or market or industry you're in. But that doesn't mean that you need to spend months and months on end or countless thousands of dollars having a truly effective and business-boosting website built. And that's why in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know in order to create a truly effective website in less time than it takes to run out and grab a coffee, or pick up the kids from school, or walk the dog. All right, let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Erhart, marketing strategist, and welcome to the channel. All right, let's talk websites, a subject that's actually really near and dear to my heart. After all, it was by doing web design that I first got started in the marketing industry way back a decade ago. And while designs and tools and strategies around building a truly effective website have changed over the years, one thing has remained the same, and that is the need and the importance to have a website. Perhaps more so today than ever before. So let's hop into my computer and I'm going to show you how to create a truly professional looking website using Wix. Also, a very special thank you to Wix for supporting this channel and sponsoring this video. I'm going to make sure to put a link for you to check out and sign up with Wix in the description box below, so make sure that you do. It's highly recommended. Also, at the end of this video, once we're done getting our brand spanking new website set up, I'm going to be giving you 7 of my best web design tips to help make sure that your website does exactly what it's supposed to do. So make sure to stick around till then. All right, let's dive in. All right, so here we are just about to get started. Now, if you've never created an account before, you're obviously going to want to hit the blue Get Started button. I've got an account already, so I'm just going to sign in and get these things taken care of, and we will be on our way. All right, so this is the first screen that we come to. You can see I've already got a site underway that I was working on and playing around with, but what I'd like to do for you here is create one completely from scratch, basically starting at the very beginning and building out a brand new website, let's say for a consultant or a coach, just so you can see how this all works and how you can do exactly the same. So let's get that rolling now. All right, so building a brand new site from scratch, all you need to do is hit the button, create new site, and that'll bring you to this section here where they're going to sort of guide you along the way to help choose the right template, the right design, and the right style for you and for your business. And most importantly, for your customers, what's going to be interesting, what's going to be eye-catching, what's going to be relevant, and what's going to enable you to really put your business in the best light and put your best foot forward. So a couple options here. Let's obviously go with business. You got a couple different choices here, whether you want to let the ADI create a website for you using kind of the artificial intelligence, or if we want to build it with the editor, we're going to do that because there's some pretty cool templates that I want to make sure that you're aware of. So we're going to go with this one here. Then from there, you can see that we've got all of these different options available for all of these different kinds of templates, whether you want to run a business and services type of website, whether you want to start a store type website, whether you have a creative agency, you're running a community type thing, or just a good old fashioned blog. Still very viable marketing strategy for today. But for us, let's stick with our original one, consulting and coaching. So we're going to click that and you can see immediately that we've got a lot of different templates that we can choose from to start editing. Now, some pretty cool ones here. Obviously a lot of pages to go through. I'm kind of liking the darker vibe of this one. I know it's a sports psychologist, but fortunately none of this really matters because we're going to be able to tailor it and adapt it for exactly what you need it to be for your business. So let's just go edit and we'll dive right in. We'll let it start putting the pages together, designing all the things, getting us into the editor, and then all we really need to do is start dragging and dropping and clicking things. And just like that, we're gonna have a website done. So what you can see right here is this is the overall design of the website's homepage, but we're not just limited to the homepage. With this template, you're gonna see we've got an about page, we have a services page, we have a contact page, all of them. All you have to do is just click into it, go in there and edit it up. But because this homepage is just so incredibly important, let's start here and let's make a few tweaks and a few modifications that I think are really going to help drive the business forward and help you accomplish what you want to do. Now, we're going to be talking more about this in some of the tips after we get this thing built. However, incredibly important to know what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve with your website. By far, one of the most valuable things you can do with your website is ensuring that you're collecting leads, that you're getting those email signups so that you can follow up and nurture your audience later. So for now, why don't we set up the website here above the fold, which means before we scroll down, to generate leads. Now, obviously, you're going to want to make sure you have some kind of a lead magnet or a freebie or an opt-in or something to exchange in value for your customer's email address. We're just going to assume we've already got that built. So let's go edit text. Again, simple drag and drop, and we'll go get free business building tips. Actually, let's just go get business building tips. Free is a bit of a loaded word. Or why not even just business building tips daily? How about that? Business building tips daily. And then we'll go down here. We'll go enter your email below to get immediate access. Perfect. So that is set there. Now, of course, we can adapt this and make it say anything we want, but you'll notice here that we have a button. I don't really want a button. I'd rather have it be direct for an email opt-in. So let me show you just how easy it is to change essentially anything. So we're going to click this and we're going to delete it just like that, the old delete button. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to go add, and we're going to choose a form right over here. Now, let's stick with something nice and simple, because the more fields that you put in the form, the less likely someone is to complete. So let's go with this. And you can see already we now have a form. We're going to put it in the right spot, right about there, and we've got a form. So we've got our headline, we've got our subhead asking people to fill out, but now we have a form as well. However, I'm not liking how this form is looking just yet. Little bit looks like it kind of just got dropped in there. So all we have to do is hit over to design, and we can go customize design and really start making this thing look like we want it to. So first things first, let's make the opacity of the background 0%. So now we've got a nice see-through form, which looks really good already. Next, this submit button over here, almost impossible to read. So why don't we change the color to white? Perfect. So that's easier. And then honestly, I kind of like this yellowish kind of color here. So we could play around with the opacity a bit, but I have a feeling we're going to leave it probably somewhere around there. And just like that, we now have a website with a headline, with a subhead, with a field to start capturing email addresses, just like that. But because we are, say, consultants or coaches, whether we're going to do health and fitness or business or whatever it is, obviously we're going to be doing business based on the title. Let's change out this background image. So to do that, all we have to do is go change strip background, and then you can see we've got a number of different images to choose from. So let's pick something that's going to require a bit of editing so I can show you how to do that. How about this one? So this one's kind of cool. Now here's what's neat about this. You can see that the second that we put in this image, not totally relevant to our website, but we can find one later. But you'll see that it's kind of making our text hard to read. So all we have to do now is come over here to some of these settings, and we can start to adjust the color behind the image and then reduce the image opacity. And just like that, it's already looking sharper and easier to read. And we've now edited and adjusted above the fold, and that took all of, I don't even know, 1 minute, 2 minutes to do that. Drag and drop some things, and we're looking really sharp. Now here's where things get really cool. A lot of your website traffic, 50% or more, statistically speaking, is going to come from a mobile device. So if you come over here and you switch to mobile view, you'll be able to see exactly what your website looks like on a mobile device. So you can then see if it fits, how responsive it is, do you need to make any changes or any edits, is it still easy to see, or anything like that. I toggle back and forth nonstop, really making sure that my website looks as good or probably even better on mobile than it does on desktop. All right, so let's head back to desktop view. We'll scroll down just a few more things here so you can see what's going on. Very similar stuff here. All we need to do is click into the text and we can edit it to change our about. We can change our pictures if we want by just picking a new image. Let's say we want well, we're doing business stuff, so let's just throw a generic keyboard in there. That actually looks really sharp, so I like that. The colors are good there. We have an opportunity on this page to introduce yourself, or you can just remove this column completely and link it over to the About page on the website. Basically, whatever fits with you and what you're trying to convey, you're capable of doing. Now, let's say that we do want to have these link over to your About page. Very simple as well. Just pick the button that you want. You'll see a linked button down here. Then you can pick whatever page you want it to go to. So for example, if you had a call to action to contact you today, or fill out a form, or get more information, or go to your services page, or whatever it is that you want, all you have to do is link this button to the appropriate page and you're on your way. Same thing here. You can show off previous client work. You can list your services. I mean, the options and the opportunities here for adapting it to your business are pretty much limitless. And the beauty of using a template like this is you don't need to be a website designer. You don't need to be overly creative. You simply have to follow the system, follow the templates that they give you, and you're pretty much good to go. All right, so we've seen that we can edit the pages. We can hop through any one that we want. For example, let's hop over to our contact page. Put our information here. If we had a local address, we could drop that in there. If we had a phone number we wanted to use, we could put it there, or we could just direct everybody to our form. Nice and simple. We can of course change the background. This add feature, we've already seen that we can add forms, but we can add a whole lot of other stuff as well, including adding a link to your online store. If you want to take bookings right online, you have an option for that. Same with events. You can run all kinds of different social, pretty much anything that you want to have connected, which you probably want to do for no other reason than social proof and making sure people can connect with you otherwhere. But again, options are pretty much limitless here. All right, so now that we've got that ready in rapid fire succession, here are 7 of my best web design tips to really help you knock it out of the park. Tip number 1 is to remember that design matters. Probably unsurprising, seeing as we've just spent the entire video going over the importance of design and really making sure that you're able to customize and design it specifically for you and your business and your customers, but it is important to remember that that back button is just a click away. This is why it's so incredibly important to make a solid first impression and really make sure to deliver your business in the best light possible. Fortunately, all of this is possible with Wix. Tip number 2 is to confirm before you convert. Now, when people first arrive at your website, you want to make it evidently obvious that they're in the right place. This means making your business name clear and easy to see, or making whatever action you want them to take immediately accessible. I said immediately twice. That's how important it is. Now, in the example website that I just built for you, you can see that the first thing I wanted them to do was download some daily business tips. Again, though, this shows them that they're in the right place by confirming that, hey, they're going to get some business tips. And on that note, tip number 3 is to have one single call to action. Most businesses' websites confuse people by offering way too many different options and thousands of different services and all sorts of links and all of that jammed right above the fold, which means the first thing that people see when they arrive on your website. Too many options is actually a great way to get people to take none of them. And this is why my focus for this website, and probably the direction I want to steer you in for your own, is to make sure that you're focused on one single thing. In this case, collecting email addresses in order to build an email list. But just make sure to choose whichever one is most relevant to you and your business. The next tip is to really try to simplify your services. This kind of goes hand in hand with having good design and having just one clear, compelling call to action, but you don't want to overwhelm or confuse your visitors with way too many different options. This is why it's important to be strategic about your business and about your marketing and about your business model and what it is that you're truly trying to achieve, so you can make sure that everything's in alignment and guiding people towards the action that you want them to take. All right, the next tip is to make it responsive. Now, we talked about the importance of this just a minute ago when we toggled back and forth between desktop view and mobile view. Important to remember that the vast majority of internet traffic, at least in most cases and according to statistics, comes from mobile devices. This means your website needs to look as good or better on a mobile device as it does on a desktop computer. Again, fortunately with Wix, you can toggle this back and forth to really make sure that you're designing things to the absolute best of your ability. All right, the next tip is to not make them think. And by them, I mean your visitors. Again, this all kind of ties into each other, right? But you've got to remember that that people are busy and they're often checking their phones or visiting your website in the line at a coffee shop or in between breaks or something like that. So they're on there for a really short amount of time, and people tend to have a really short attention span. This is why your goal as the website owner and as the marketer of that website, by trying to communicate the value of your business, well, you want to do all the heavy lifting for your customer. You want to be really clear and really concise and really sort of compelling about what it is that you do and why someone should care. An important tip here is to prioritize clarity over creativity. All right, and the next tip is to prove it. Now, if people are first coming to your website and they've never been there before, it's important to show client results or testimonials or some other kind of social proof that basically proves that you are who you say you are and you're as good as you're claiming to be. Now, a good rule of thumb when it comes to putting testimonials on your website is to have 3 pretty beefy, decent-sized ones, 5 medium, shorter ones, or 7 really short, kind of micro ones. Also, if you can think of any other kind of case studies or reports or white papers or articles or any other content that you've created that helps establish your authority, these are all good things to put on there as well. All right, so now that we've got all that covered, there's only one thing left for you to do, and that is to head down to the description box below to check out the link to sign up for Wix today so you can see it and try it out for yourself. I'll also make sure to link up a video right here on Introduction to Marketing, so make sure to check that out now, and I'll see you in the next episode. Marketing helps people solve their problems by clearly defining and delivering solutions and really explaining the benefits of those solutions so they can get better results.